welcome back to my channel. I'm still in LA, as you could see, and today's look, I really wanted to do a Met Gala inspired look. So the Met Gala took place this past week in New York City. If I was invited to the Met Gala, this is kind of the makeup tutorial that I would do. So I always start off with my brows, no matter what I'm doing. So to fill in my brows, since I am going to like this big event, I am gonna use a dip brow pomade by Anastasia, and I'm gonna recreate my brows. I know I have very full brows and I really don't need much work, but since this is such a big event and this is like the capital of all events in New York City, I'm gonna make sure that when I see Beyonce, she sees me too. She's gonna be like, dang, you are painted. I'm like, yeah! And I'm just gonna use a flat angle brush. I like to start with creating that front top line just to start getting a little bit of a shape and to see where I want to go for my brows. And with brows, I feel like it's the tiniest changes that makes the biggest impact. So I'm just creating the outline of my brow and where I want it to be, how I want it to look. And this is pretty much how I always start my look. That pretty much creates the top line. So I'm just going to start working on the bottom half of the brow. So the thing about brows is that it takes time to really find what type of brow shape works for you. It takes a lot of time. When I first started doing my brows, I used to have to place tape all along the bottom part of my brow and top part of my brow to kind of create an outline for me, and then I would just fill it in. So for concealing under my brows, I use two products. I use the Cover FX N Deep palette, and I use this shade right here, number 1. And I like to use another angled brush to really sharpen up those edges. So I'm just gonna, since I haven't got like threaded in a while, like got my eyebrows threaded, I'm just going to conceal all this hair, my unibrow. I know this looks extremely crazy, but I'm telling you, it will get better towards the end. And I'm just lining, I'm pretty much just outlining where I want my brow to be. So I feel like the concealer is the corrector part of the brow. So if you made a mistake with the shadowing and applying the darker tone pomade to your brow, the concealer is gonna help redefine. And I mean, don't be afraid of concealer. Concealer is your best friend. Concealer is like your homegirl that's seen you fall out of the club and it's just like, oh no girl, you gotta get home safe today, okay? Now that my brows are on, I'm just gonna blend out the concealer a little bit so that it's not so much of a harsh line. So I'm just gonna take a precision concealer brush by Sephora. Use whatever concealer brush you like, or use whatever brush you like to blend things out, you know, just have fun. So I'm just gonna take and blend out those edges a little bit more. And I find that blending it out just a little bit towards the edges helps with the gradation when I put on my foundation. And I know this looks extremely crazy. You're just probably like, what in the hell? So I'm just gonna use the Becca Mattifying Primer. This shit holds your foundation on for dear life. Like if you are oily, honey, get into it, I'm telling you. Only thing about this primer is that you have to use something that's more of a cream base underneath. So your moisturizer or whatever you put under your foundation has to be more of a cream base, or else it's gonna peel. And in regard to the forehead, I like to just blend it in, trying not to touch the concealer too much. I'm taking this everywhere. Under my eyes. But if you don't have, if you're just oily in the T-zone, then you don't really need to apply it everywhere. The moment we've all been waiting for. Okay, so since this is a main event, I'm gonna be using Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. If you have not tried this, I can't, this needs to be a video all on its own. What I like to do is I like to take a pump right here onto my palette, and then I like to just spread it along my palette so that I know how much product I'm using. So up here is where I put the pump, and that's where a lot of the foundation is, but down here is a little bit where I spread it out with my finger, because I like to work my way up. And since I want a brushed, like blended finish, I'm gonna use a brush instead of a beauty blender. And then let's get started. Let's paint for the gods. Yes, God. Can I get a yes, God? And then I kind of just stipple it and blend it into my skin. I'm not worried about the markings from the primer because I know it's gonna disappear But this is like a really full coverage foundation. Like if you have not tried this, baby, then we just can't be friends. You see how that looks? How it's not, oh my God, foundation. It's just like a light wash of color. And that's because I started from the bottom of my squiggly line. So this is where it's more concentrated and this is where it's more diluted. And that's why I kind of like squiggling it across my palette, because it allows me to build when needed. Like I could just build it when I need it, you know? And I like to build it especially around my eyebrows. Like if you want to give me a birthday present, like birthday November 26th, if you're thinking of ideas, Becca Ultimate Cream Foundation in the color Mink, thank you so much. Just kind of working my way in from my temple towards my brow. Since I did do my brows first, also make sure you do your nose. Sometimes I forget to do the rim of my nose, so I make sure I just do it everywhere. Now, since I did conceal my brows first, I like to pinch this brush a little bit more, like this, so it's a little bit more flatter so that I don't get foundation on my brows, because I have a tendency to get a little crazy and then I'm applying foundation, buffing in, and then I have like sometimes like this light brown tone on my brows, and I know it's because of the foundation. So I'm just gonna take my time, apply my foundation, buff it in, pinch the brush really tightly to get in between my brows. Okay, now that I've pretty much completed my foundation, I'm just gonna start the process of highlighting, contouring, the whole works. I like to just put the concealer onto my palette and then use my finger to kind of just highlight. I kind of want more of a dramatic approach. I'm just gonna dot it onto my skin. Hey guys, sorry, my camera died. So I actually did a couple things off camera. So I applied a little bit of a blush. I started doing my eyes a little bit. I've been using the same contour powder that I've been using, and I just put that on my eye, and then I just used a little bit of the Cover FX, and I just put that right on the center near my lash line, just to kind of give the effect of a highlighting. I am gonna sweep it away. I am just gonna brush that away. And you see how that kind of gives it kind of the effect of a more open / naked eye. I kind of like that effect. I'm gonna apply some mascara. I'm just gonna be using Too Faced, Tried and True. Do you guys hate that when you're applying makeup and then your nose has the audacity to start running? I'm like, excuse me, this is not your time to shine. For my bottom mascara, my lashes at the bottom, I don't really apply that much. I just apply some to kind of take away all the powder that I put on before. I'm gonna go throw on a shirt and then we're gonna come back for final looks. And that pretty much completes my look for today. So yeah, if I was invited to the Met Gala, this is definitely the look I would wear. I mean, in terms of makeup, like look at that cheek. See, that's what I appreciate, you know, a lot of structure. Like look at that. I just have cheekbones for everyone. You get a cheekbone. You get a cheekbone. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.